The birds. The birds are in the pear tree. The birds are in the plum tree. They were so loud. They were noisy. But I love the sound of these birds. I actually came out to do some gardening, to pull some weeds after the rain. It's perfect condition for pulling weeds. But I don't know, I've been doing this for the past 2 weeks and I just don't really feel like it somehow this morning. So instead I'm going to, we have praying mantises. I came across one and then I saw another and I'm like, the praying mantis, they hide in the grass. And I said they must be related to the crickets and grasshoppers because that's the way those behave as well. They're in the grass. They're hiding in the grass. Look at that. All of my plants are flowering and fruiting. It's so beautiful to see all that green. So I wanted to talk about a case that's happening now, a story that's happening in Los Angeles, I believe, California, where it's a spa. It's a woman's spa, and women went to the spa one day, and there was a transgender in this whatever facility they were using. I don't know if it was the pool but there was a transgender person, and the women really lost it, especially one black woman. She was livid. She went to the front desk to complain, and they did not, she received no satisfaction in her complaint because they said they're inclusive and they don't discriminate against transgender people. And so they missed the point. The point is, men have spaces, right? There are men's clubs, men's spaces for men only that women cannot get into, okay? There are many of that, and they've always been in existence. So more and more women are getting more and more rights, and they want more and more spaces for themselves. I don't think that's unreasonable, but I noticed that ever since women have been pushing for women's rights, men have been pushing to get into those spaces, their right to be in their own space. So I remember, it reminded me of a story years back. So there's all kinds of things going on. First of all, Antifa pops up. Antifa is going to be fighting women against, Antifa is going to be fighting women for the rights of transgender to be in women's spaces. Now, there are spaces that are women's spaces, like let's say perhaps a nightclub or a cafe, these kinds of places where women gather and want to be around other women. And if a trans woman pops up, this is not a big deal, I don't think. I think the women are talking more about spaces where they are in states of undress, where they are naked, as a spa, a spa. You have your clothes off, and when you have your clothes off at a spa, you see there's a transgender and there's a penis, because they hold on to their penis. They insist on holding on to their penis, and then they insist on being called women. And the rest of us women who are born without a penis, we say, well, something's amiss here. Now, me personally, I'm indifferent, and I'm somewhat conflicted, because on the one hand, I have a transgender, friend, very close friend, I've known for many years. And you see, this would not be an issue with her because she understands women, and she knows that it's not okay for a trans woman to be in such a place as a spa. She would not feel comfortable there, and therefore she would not go there, and she would not want to be making other women feel uncomfortable by being in such a place, because she happens to have a pretty big penis. She got a dick that's like 9.5 inches. She knows it would not be appropriate. She knows it would not be a good thing to do, so she would stay away. But you have these trans people who are just there to upset our balance, who are there to upset our peace. They assert themselves, they push themselves, and that's what I think the women are complaining about. That black woman was irate, and rightly so. You see, and while she was, at the front desk, is a Korean-owned spa, and it's open to women. There's a transgender there, and I guess his dick was exposed. And women, some women are traumatized by that because they've been sexually abused, they've been raped by men with penis. And the fact that these trans people don't want to acknowledge or accept that from women, I think it's them being really obnoxious. And then they are really showing what they truly are, which is men. Because men can be really obnoxious, like little boys. Nah, 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 you don't want me there, I'm going to be there anyway. We're going to make it, we got rights. And you have all these dumb dykes, lesbians, dumb bitches, standing up for transgender right to invade our spaces. Listen, I remember so many years ago we had the bathhouse. Now here's the irony. Because men have spaces for themselves, they have bathhouses. The bathhouses are for men. Okay, so men go to the bathhouse supposedly to bathe, but they're having sex. That's their primary reason for being there, right? They're having sex. Women are not busting into the bathhouse, but women did ask nicely, and they gave us one night, I believe, to have a bathhouse event. I was performing at that event, and the men, the gay men, think, wow, what was this? That's novel. What a novel idea. Performances, singing and poetry and things at a bathhouse. All we do is fuck. All we do is fucking suck at the bathhouse. Here the women come to our bath, and we had to ask permission to use their bathhouse for one night. Because we wanted and we needed a space just for ourselves. We don't have that. We didn't have that. And while we were there at the bathhouse, it's the women's bathhouse. Right? There's a big commotion, and I go to check out what it is, and it's a transgender, and I could clearly see that it's like a new transition. It's early transitioning, so she's not fully there yet, and she has this awkwardness about her, and she looks like a man. And where is she? At the pool. So what do you see? Her dick. Because you can't hide a dick in a bathing suit, and women don't want to see a dick at an exclusive women's space. And that's why I say you should call yourselves trans women. And you should do your trans things. Have your trans identity and your trans life. But don't try to force that onto us. Because I'm a woman who accepts trans people, trans men, trans women. But what I don't accept is their habit of pushing themselves, especially the male to female. They're very pushy, they're very obnoxious, very loud. It's embarrassing. I don't see women to men transgender acting like that. They bring their power in a different way. They're not the bitch. They don't practice the bitchcraft of the MTFs. You hardly hear about the female to male transgender, but trust me, they're behind the scenes and they occupy high positions of authority, and I don't hear very much from them, but you're always hearing the male to female transgender, and they're the ones insisting on being where women are, and women are not always wanting to be as accepting, because it's important for us to have our spaces. Look, how many private men's clubs are there for men only? Women can't get in. I remember once, many years ago, a friend of mine, a black woman, she noticed we lived in the queer village, and they would come visit me, and I told her about how the gay men used to, there was a park. So you could see from my balcony across the street was a park and a community center for gay people. And after midnight, between the hours of 12:30 and 4 in the morning, there's all kinds of action, all sorts of activity happening in the park, and mainly gay men having sex in the park. You could see from my balcony. And so she came, oh, look at a beautiful dragonfly. Wow, I have wildlife around me. I'm just so in heaven here. And yeah, she said to me, hey, I want to go. I want to do, they would have a circle jerk. They'd get around, all these anonymous guys, guys don't even know each other. They show up at the park. They get in a circle and they're jerking off. And she wanted to join in. And I'm like, no, why the hell would I want to do that? Because I'm one person that don't put myself in places where I don't belong. I know where I belong. I know where I must be. And I don't push myself into places where I'm not welcome or I shouldn't be. But there are people who are like that. They're idiots. Okay? They're idiots. So I didn't want to do it, right? But of course, I've been in situations when I was younger where usually I wouldn't want to do things and people would always talk me into things. Well, they would talk me into things because I'm like, okay, let's try it. I know it's a stupid idea, but, because you're a dumbass and you're so pushy. You keep pushing and pushing, so I'll do it just to prove to you that it was stupid, ill-conceived. Well, I went with her. We got dressed up, butched up, put on jeans, which I hate jeans. I don't wear jeans because I hate them. But, you always have jeans around just in case, right? So I put on my jeans. Oh, did I wear I think I wore my army pants with the cargo pockets. Anyway, whatever I wore, we went there dressed as boys, put on like a baseball cap, and we joined the circle jerk. The guys are like jerking off, and we were packing. Like we wore dildos in our pants, and we're like in the circle with the guys, and they're pulling their wire, and we're pulling ours. And it didn't last for long because I'll always screw things up. Because I always just have a sense of like right from wrong. And I'm like, it's not right. I'm not a gay man. She's not a gay man. Why the hell are we in a gay park in a circle and these guys are jerking off and we're going to pull out fake dicks and pretend to jerk off too? I started doing it. And to me, it was so ridiculous, so dumb. It was so stupid. I felt like an ass. And I started laughing. I just burst out laughing. And once you start laughing, well, I just ran away. I ran off. It's like, this is stupid. I can't do that. I took my dick in my hand and ran off. And, luckily I just had to cross the street and walk to third building was mine and go home. Because, your friends, maybe they dare you to do things, and they think it's a good idea. It's not. There are some places you don't belong. Like, I don't belong in the park after midnight in a circle jerk with a bunch of dudes, and so it's just like, if you're a trans woman, don't try to push yourself into these types of intimate women's spaces. Come to the restaurant, come to the bar, come to the club, come and dance, But if it's when it comes to be in various states of undress, women are taking their clothes off and stuff. And you have a dick in you say you're a woman, you have a dick, you still accept it, right? Because you're pushy. So we accept you, but then you want to push it further and you want to come to the spa where women are in their bra and panties and bikinis or even naked, nudity. They don't want you there because you got a dick. And that's the bottom line. And if you can't accept it and understand it, you go and you raise a ruckus instead of saying, maybe that's not a good idea, and apologize and leave and just say, I'm a transgender, but I guess, you're not okay with that. And women have a right to say we don't want dick around us. His dick has done a lot of bad things to many of us. Okay? So take your dick and go elsewhere. And if you want to really be a woman, chop that dick off. But like I said, all of you hold on to your dick. The majority of you, male to female, transgender people, hold on to your dick. Why? Because you make money from it. You become sex workers. Because, those fake straight men, they cannot come out of the damn closet. They claim to be straight, but they insist on having a she-male. They want a she-male. And then they say, well, she-male is derogatory. We are trans women. This world is upside down and it's ridiculous. And I'm just pointing, at these things that are absurd. And it is absurd for you, a trans woman, to come into the women's part of the spa. You really, seriously, for that day, go to the men's side of the spa, because you got a dick and you got to take clothing off. Like, seriously, like now Antifa is on the scene. Antifa is going to be protesting against women's right to have a freaking spa just be for women. Women don't want to see a dick at a spa, and you want to force us. Let me tell you something about Antifa. I told you, they are no different from the Proud Boys. They're just a different side of the same coin. So the Proud Boys are there on behalf of that political party, and Antifa is there on the behalf of the other political party. And all they do, they are agitators. They are there to agitate and cause problems and cause trouble and bring chaos and discord. It should not have to reach where you are protesting. It is you, one transgender, and a bunch of women, and the women say we don't feel comfortable, then get the hell out and shut the hell up. Go where, you are welcome amongst women. But it's not the spa, honey. It's not the spa. And as a man, I bet your ass would never go to the spa. But as a woman, now you want to be at the damn spa. Get the hell out of there. Now, I was talking about the spa we had for women, and how this trans person turned up. Now, the lesbians, the dykes were pissed. They were really upset because it was a night they planned to be, frolicking and having a good time. Oh, look at that bird over there. It's this red bird. So it's eating my raspberries. Damn it. Anyway, this trans person turned up at the bathhouse for women, and we didn't have a bathhouse for ourselves. So he had asked the gay guys if we could use their bathhouse for one night. It was hell. It was like pulling teeth from a duck, but it was done. We got the night, and there was a trans person there. Now, me personally, because I was known and I felt fairly safe. I was with friends. My girlfriend at the time, she's now a he. She's now a trans man, but she was DJing at the time, and I was performing on the mic, and I was kind of indifferent. And then I started to feel conflicted, because I'm like, well, he does look like a he. He looks like a really ugly dude. Maybe if he was cute, the women wouldn't have minded. I don't know. But he was ugly. He was an ugly guy. And he's saying he's a woman. And the women weren't having it. But me personally, I said, well, she, and I called it a she. I said, she's not really harming anyone. She's just there. She's sitting down, minding her business, just chilling, And I felt at that time that the dykes and the lesbians, they were a bit overreacting. But then they said, I could see she has a dick. And they see the dick. That's the thing. Lesbians and dykes don't want to see your dicks. If you want to become a woman like us, chop off the damn dick. That's it. You claim you're a woman. Don't come back with this shit about sexuality is between your ears, not between your legs. Take that shit somewhere else. Okay? I'm saying women don't want to see your penis. That's why they call themselves lesbians. That's why they call themselves dykes, and they hang out with chicks. They don't want no damn chicks with dicks. And I happen to have a person that I know very well. I lived with it for over 2 decades, who came to me as a male, as a man, a client, cross-dressing. And over the years, he's insisting that he's transgender because most of my friends are becoming transgender. And I believe he just jumped on that bandwagon. I don't believe he's a true trans. And the reason I say that is he's been living for the last 6 years with a woman who would never accept him as a she. And I'm like, if you are so staunchly trans as claimed, why are you putting up with living with somebody who does not accept that? Okay? That doesn't make any sense. And you seem to be just free to switch when you want to be. When you're around me, you're trans because I accept you. But because that Jamaican woman that you married doesn't accept that, you hide your identity. You say, oh, it's your sister. Yes, you have a trans sister. Like, trans sister, it's not a radio, it's you. It's like, that's why we don't really accept trans, some of us. Because it's like, either you are a woman or you're not. You guys go in and out. And there's some of you are molesting children. You work in community centers, you work at schools, you work at camps, and you molest. Oh, look at that red bird. Those red birds hanging around my garden, and man, this. Oh, look at it. It's like an orangey red color. But I can never get close enough to capture it. The only way I can capture it is if I'm inside and I take it from the window. But outside it's really hard. They're very flighty, skittish. The other birds let me get close, but not those. It's in the lavender bush, which looks like a big tree. What's it doing? Is it eating rose hips? You got rose hips in there. Oh, look at it. Usually there are two of them, but I'm only seeing one. It's such a beautiful bird. Anyway, yes, so I don't support Antifa like I don't support Black Lives Matter, because I believe the two groups are funded and perhaps even were formed and created by these deep-pocketed white males, you know, with backgrounds from Greece and Poland, and you know, they are not people who have any good agenda for us people of color, black people. And with the black people, there are the black queer people. They have gay black people who fight against the rest of us black people. The gay black people don't seem to like black people at all, and many of the gay black people are involved in relationships with Caucasians. So they are anti-black, and they're saying Black Lives Matter. It only matters to them who are they're receiving donations and funding and grants. Okay? They are the only ones, and they have a bunch of sheep following them. Oh my God, look at these squirrels going crazy. Look at that, a little... Wow, I'm being distracted by all the wild things around me, so I'm going to cut this short, but I felt compelled to do a recording about that because Antifa is going to be showing their ass, and I believe that the black community must know, must be informed. Don't get involved with these people. If they say they're going to be somewhere, just stay away. Because they are being paid to be there. They're being paid to agitate. And they're being paid to keep us divided. You know, we've always had gay people in our midst, in our families, in our communities. And I'm talking black people. We've always known. We've had cousins or sisters, brothers, whomever. We've had queer people. You know, I came out in my 20s. And my family, they were laughing at me. They're like, yeah, right. You're not a dyke. You're not a lesbian. They wouldn't believe me. And they were right. I wasn't a lesbian. I was queer. And it meant that I was free to choose. And my my gender is fluid, and my sexuality is fluid. I'm in and out. Now, I am celibate by choice. I'm celibate by choice because people are having sex, and they're having it in the ways that are not safe, the ways that are not natural. They're doing things to themselves. You know, they're shoving things up their anus, you know, to the point where they're losing control of their bowels because they're shoving bigger and bigger things up there. Your anus is an exit point. It's an exit point for your feces, your waste matter. It's not a place for pleasure of having sex, because it's, I mean, just the fact that you feel a pressure, right? Of even a finger in your booty hole, it feels like it's not, shouldn't be there. Your impulse is to push it out. The sphincter pushed it out, but you are forcing it in. So I'm saying that your activities really are against nature, and that's what you will not like me for that. But I'm not saying I hate you or I'm against you. I'm just saying some of the things you do, they're not right. They're not correct. You know, I know, because all of you wanted to do stuff to me, put stuff in my ass, dildo in my ass, finger in my ass. You know, put a tongue there. How about that? Eat my ass, right? That's nice. But even then, I don't want to be bothered, because then I'm with you, and who knows where you've been. And then what I really didn't like about you, Dykes, was you always wanting to fist a pussy. You know, and you gay men want to fist a booty hole. Why would you want to put a fist in someone's ass? The asshole is, yeah, it stretches, but come on, you're forcing it, and you have to use so much lube and gloves, and that's not normal, guys. You know, there are other ways you can get off. Just because you were assaulted sexually, you were raped, you want to eroticize that and reenact that, make a fetish of it, that don't mean it's right. You know, and you women want to put a whole fist in a vagina. What the hell is wrong with you? I thought it was supposed to be women loving women. What's loving about a friggin' fist in a vagina? And then you don't want a dick. You don't want a dick, but you want a whole fist? Get that. You know, you gay people, you get on my damn nerves. Get out of here with that bullshit. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Make it positive, please. Thank you. Good day. I'm Domina Della Pie. Mistress Sasha Storm. I'm going to go back to my gardening.